Hello, it is Christmas Eve. I'm feeling very Christmassy. I've had a great couple of days, done lots of Christmas shopping for my friends, ready to wrap all their presents up, which they're going to get in the new year because I'm organised like that. But let's talk reading plans. So, for those who do not know, this is part 3 of a Can I Reach My Reading Goal by the End of the Year video. Yes I can. I have read 100 out of 101 books so far this year, so there is no question I am going to reach my reading goal of 101. But we might be changing the goalpost. So last year I read 111 books, the year before I read 106. And I'll talk you through in a minute my reading plans for the rest of this year. But I think there's dropping the camera. But I think there's a very good chance that I can hit 106. And I cannot stress this enough, I'm not going to start reading tiny books just to get to a goal. I've hit my goal of 101, which I honestly wasn't sure I was going to manage. So I'm thrilled anyway. Now it's just reading the books I want to read, and quite a few of those are very small. I have a couple of graphic novels I've been meaning to read all year. I have a novella I've been meaning to read all year. So I'm not doing it for the numbers, but nonetheless it helps numbers. So let's talk you through where I'm up to. So my current read, which I started last night, is The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. I only read 20 pages last night because I started it at 1 a.m. But I'm going to be reading this today. Tomorrow I'm going to be reading different things. On Christmas Day I am reading A Spindle Splintered, which I'm buddy reading with Pris, and is really short. I can't bother to get it from my bookshelf for now, but it's less than 100 pages or around 100 pages. And then I also have 2 Christmassy novellas. Well, I have 3, but I think I'm only going to read 2. I have Merry Inkmas by Talia Hibbert, which I'm definitely going to read. And then I have 2 other smutty Christmas novellas. I'll pick one of them and read that on my Kindle, my iPad. So that's my plans for tomorrow. And then on the 26th, I'm probably going to get back on with The Mime Order. But I'm home at the moment, and my mum also reads a lot, and we both have a favourite format of readathon, which is 25 in 5. I adore these readathons. I used to do them when they were happening quite a lot, but the people that created 25 in 5 don't run them anymore. They've been on hiatus for 2 and a bit years. So I've not done one in ages because no one's run them, so I'm just kind of going to do one for myself from the 26th to the 30th or 31st, something like that. To explain the format quickly, 25 in 5 is you read 25 hours across 5 days. So basically you're trying to do really focused reading for 5 hours a day. This is obviously a lot. That is not something I could do regularly, but when I have a week off, it's a really nice thing to do and a really good way to do focused reading, which I like, instead of saying I'm going to do a book a day, which means I could read my normal 10 pages, go on my phone, 10 pages, go on my phone, whatever. This instead, because I'll be timing myself, makes me read much more focused, which I really appreciate. This camera is so wobbly, I'm so sorry. But that is my plan for between Christmas and New Year. In terms of what books I will be reading, slightly undecided. Obviously The Mime Order, I mentioned this in my previous vlog, I do have a book which I'm hoping to buddy read with my mum because I'm giving it to her for Christmas. I say it quietly because she's downstairs. I have some Taylor Jenkins Reid books, I have Wranglestone, I have Note to Self by Connor Franta, which is a non-fiction essays, photography, poetry book, which I really am looking forward to. I am very much considering really quickly popping back to my flat and picking up the next 2 Bone Season books, kind of whilst I'm on a run with it, see if I can read all 4 before the end of the year. I did say it was one of the series I wanted to read this year, it'd be sick if I could end up doing that. But I don't know, I have lots of options. Many books I could read, but that's basically my plan for now to the end of the year. Mime Order, some fun novellas on Christmas, then some intense reading, possibly of Bone Season, possibly of other books until the end of the year. But that's it for now. I'm going to get back to the Mime Order. I'm so excited to get back into this. I'm loving this series so much, which is exciting because I didn't love it the first time I read it, but I'm going to go get on with that because it's already midday and I've not read anything yet. Hello, so it is Boxing Day. I just thought I'd do a really quick update because I didn't vlog at all yesterday, and I don't think I vlogged past the morning of Christmas Eve because it was Christmas Eve and Christmas. There was lots to do, I was busy, and when I wasn't busy I was tired, so I didn't vlog. But I thought I'd do a very quick reading update for where I'm at. I did not read as much as I intended over the last couple of days, it's safe to say. But hopefully I'll get a lot done over the next few days and all will be good. Just a super quick update though, because I'm about to go out for a walk and then do more reading, and I'm also trying to watch Hawkeye with my brother because he really wants me to watch it, so trying to fit a lot in. But on Christmas Eve, I think when I updated you, I'd finished the Bone Season and just started the first little bit of the Mime Order. I didn't read anymore pretty much all day. It was too busy. And then in the evening, my family tend to do a thing where we each get one present, and my mum gave me a graphic novel. She gave me this graphic novel, Patience and Esther, which is probably Esther, which, as it says, is an Edwardian romance. It is sapphic romance, not specifically stated as lesbian, I don't think, throughout, but I think quite clearly, but I don't know. But anyway, sapphic romance, interracial, set in Edwardian England. It is adorable, it is graphic, it is definitely explicit. It was a great time. So I got this on Christmas Eve, and I was like, well, as I've got it, I may as well read it. So I read it on Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Day, my plan was to read A Spindle Splintered by Alex Harrow, as well as 1 or 2 Christmassy novellas on my Kindle. I only read this. It took me most of the day between presents and dinner and all of this, and you know, we were busy till like 6 p.m. and then I wanted to watch Black Widow with my brother in the evening. So I only read this. I loved it. 5 stars, Alex Harrow, we're not surprised. This is kind of a Sleeping Beauty retelling. I feel like a reimagining is a better phrase. It's Sleeping Beauty by way of the Spider-Verse. I've not actually watched Spider-Verse yet, but it's very much that multiverse vibes. It was fantastic. I had a fantastic time with this. Really short, obviously. My only complaint is it has these illustrations throughout, which, you know, I knew it did. Has like silhouette style illustrations throughout. I kind of assumed they would relate to the story more. Like, I know they're typical, you know, fairy tale style illustrations, but they felt completely out of place. They didn't reference the part of the story they were by. I couldn't really make sense of them. It kind of adds to the whole gothic atmosphere, but yeah, I kind of missed the point a bit, I think, of that, which is a shame. But nonetheless, this is queer, it's great. I had a fantastic time reading it. I recommend, and this is going to be a series. No idea what she's doing with the others, but exciting. The next one is something about a mirror, so I don't know if it's going to be Snow White, maybe. But anyway, I have then picked back up the mime order. I mentioned I'm doing 25 and 5 from today through to pretty much the end of the year. I don't know how strict I'm going to be with this. It's meant to be reading 25 hours across 5 days, so 5 hours every day. That is a lot. I have other things to do. I want to set up my reading journal for next year, though. I'm planning to use the Illumicrate one. There are certain spreads I really like from my previous one, so I'm going to draw them up on Illustrator and print them out so I don't have to do them because I never have time. I want to edit some videos, including my last vlog and this one, because my last one hasn't gone up yet, even though it was meant to go up 2 days ago. I want to wrap all my friends' New Year's presents. I have things to do before I go back to work on the 4th. So I am aware that I may not manage 5 hours of reading a day. I'm also bloody knackered. But I'm going to do my best. Basically, my goal is to just do some really intense reading and try and get quite a lot read. I will definitely finish this. I'm kind of hoping I can get the Song Rising done as well. And then other than that, I'll be reading All My Friends Are Rich because I'm reading it with my mum because she got it for Christmas. And then I'm thinking maybe if I need some to break the days up a bit, maybe House Fires. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. But for now, mime order. I am 200 pages, 180 pages in, so I made a good chunk. I've been reading for 2 hours so far today, but I had read 40 pages before I started today. So about to go out for a walk, then I'll come home, try and read to about page 280 today, so another 100 pages, and then I can finish it tomorrow. And then when I've done that, I'll probably switch either to something else, or if I'm at that point still feeling good, I'll keep on with this one, and then watch more Hawkeye this evening. So that's basically the plan and where I'm at. I will also later today, I don't want to do it right now, but later today I will film a little Christmas haul. I won't show you everything I got for Christmas, but I'll show you the books I got, which isn't too many, and sort of a few other cool bits, most of which I chose for myself, but I'll show all of you that later. I'm gonna go for a walk for now. I'm enjoying this. I'm tired, so it's hard, but I like it. It's kind of all there is to say right now. Hello, so it is the 28th of December and I have not filmed in the last couple of days because I'm useless. And honestly, I'm having a really good time at the moment, not being on my phone, reading the whole time, not doing a lot else. I am doing other stuff, but we'll get into that. But I thought I'd do a very quick reading update for how my 25 hours and 5 days is going and how my reading is going, what I'm thinking now for the end of the year, because I think it has changed a little bit. And then I'm gonna do my Christmas haul, which I haven't done yet, which is mainly books, and then like a couple other non-bookish things that I just wanna show because they're cool. So reading update. It is currently sort of the middle of day 3 of 25 and 5, but I've not really started my reading for the day yet, so we're gonna pretend it's the beginning of day 3. So days 1 and 2 were both very successful. Day 1, I think, was the last time I updated you when I wasn't sure I was gonna get past 4 hours. I did. I got to 4 hours reading of the mime order, which got me around about halfway through, slightly further maybe. And then I read the Talia Hibbert novella Merry Inkmas for 2 hours and didn't quite finish it because it got really late, but was having a fantastic time with both of those. And then yesterday, for day 2, I finished the mime order and finished the Talia Hibbert novella, and then made a small start on the Song Rising. And my total time at the end of yesterday was 10 hours and 42 minutes, so I'm a little bit ahead, which is good because I'm already behind today. My timer has been an absolute arsehole and cleared itself. Luckily I screenshotted it, but therefore my cumulative time I'll have to add up at the end instead of having it all in one place. Which is a bit annoying, but we'll survive. But thoughts on all the books. Mime order. Loved it. So good. Second half to final third was a 5-star for me. First bit wasn't quite, so I'm putting this at a 4.5 total, but it's getting so interesting. All the paths are starting to kind of come together a bit, which I am loving. There's just so much happening and so many twists and turns, none of which I see coming because I'm dense. I cannot imagine having to wait between these books. I'm loving binging them. I'm stressed about when I get to the end of Mask Falling. I feel like that's going to hurt me, but so good, loving it. I'm obsessed with Warden, beyond belief, and yeah, loving it. As we're talking, Samantha Shannon, I'll go straight into Song Rising. Thoughts so far, I've read about 100 pages, so about a third of the way through, because it's a much shorter book. Loving it. Again, it's fascinating to me how, obviously it's the third book out of 7, so I'm not even halfway through the series. Halfway through the 4th book is halfway through the series. And it's just mad to me how much has already happened. I think when, you know, the series is complete and I've read it all, it's going to be probably the longest series I've ever read. I think I've read some like 10-book kids series, but like proper books. This will be the longest series I've ever read, and I can really feel it, and I'm loving it. The thing that's getting me is it's dystopian, and obviously it's nothing like a standard YA dystopian, but it does have, you know, by being of the genre, some of the kind of same cadence of the world is bad, someone wants to change the world, we're kind of moving into revolution territory. Like it's standard dystopian in that sense, or like, you know, not revolution, but like making a change to the world. Like it's pretty standard, those kind of plot points. But what's really interesting is, like in any trilogy, you kind of move through it at a certain pace, but I'm sat here with 4 more books to read. So like, what is gonna happen in the next 4 books? I'm very intrigued, but I'm having a fantastic time with it. I'm loving it. I also read Merry Inkmas by Talia Hibbert. Good, very good. 200 pages, Christmas, fluffy, cute, with a side dumping of trauma because Talia Hibbert, smut. It's fantastic. There's actually not a lot of smut. There's some like smut ideation and then a little bit of smut. It's great. I had a fantastic time. It's utterly gripping. It's Talia Hibbert. We know I love it. So go read Merry Inkmas. I'll put it up on the screen. It's amazing. Go read it, please. But to get into the Christmas haul, books. I didn't get too many books for Christmas. It used to be a couple of years ago that I'd get like loads for my birthday and loads for Christmas. But nowadays, normally when a book comes out that I really want to read, I buy it for myself. And so there's not that many at any one point that I'm like dying to get. So my mum got me a couple of books which she had heard of and just thought I would like. She got me quite a few books off my wish list, and then a couple which like I basically chose. Well, I say a couple, there's one specifically because I literally was in a bookshop with her and picked it up like, oh, I don't need this, but I want it. And she sort of took it off me like, you'll get it at Christmas, it's fine. So I'll go through them quickly. There's not too many here. I'm not going to do like full synopses because some of them I don't really know the synopses, but we will quickly fly through the books she got me. So first up with kind of 3 that she got because she thinks I'll like them. 2 of them I was aware of, 1 I wasn't. The first is Tendrils in the Flesh by, I have no idea who wrote this, Augustina Bazterrica. Almost certainly saying that wrong. But this is Tendrils in the Flesh. This is a dystopian. I don't know much about it other than basically cannibalism. Humans have got to the point where they have to eat other humans to survive, I think, because they need food. I don't know much more than that's this. She loved it. She's been really wanting me to read it, and she found this gorgeous floppy edition with French flaps. So that one, which I'm hyped for reading and will definitely try and read in 2022. I'm gonna say that for everything and I will fail. Next up is one I kind of asked for, and that is Ghosted by Jen Ashworth, which has this gorgeous, gorgeous cover. This, I know, again, nothing about. It says Ghosted, a love story. It looks like it's going to be spooky. I don't think it is, but oh, maybe. It says, one ordinary morning, Laurie's husband Mark disappears, leaving behind his phone and wallet. For weeks, she tells no one, carrying on her cleaning job at the nearby university, visiting her tricky dementia-suffering father, and hauling up in her high-rise flat with a bottle of wine or two to hand. When she reports Mark missing, the police are suspicious. Why did she take so long? Wasn't she worried? So yeah, it sounds like a kind of mix of genres. It says at the end, laced with dark humour, this intriguing novel draws a memorable portrait of a stubborn young woman and as angry with herself as she is with everyone close to her. It sounds very, very interesting, but one of the reasons I want to read this one so much is the local university she mentions is Lancaster University, where I went to uni. And my mum said there's quite a lot of it set on the campus, and they definitely reference some of the key places on campus quite heavily, so it's just fun reading something set in the town I lived in for 4-ish years, and the uni I know very well, so that's good fun. And then the next one she got me is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. Nina LaCour has written We're Okay, which I've not got around to reading yet, and Watch Over Me, which I've read and really enjoyed. And this is an older one, and I recognise this cover from like back in the day of like the book internet and seeing it in Waterstones, but it's not one I knew anything about, but reading the blurb, it sounds really interesting. It says, after being entrusted with her brother's apartment for the summer as a graduation gift, rising young production designer Emmy Price isn't sure how to fulfill this one condition, that something great take place while he's gone. But when she and her best friend Charlotte discover a mysterious letter at the estate sale of a Hollywood film legend, Emmy must move beyond the walls of her carefully crafted world to chase down the loose ends of a movie icon's hidden life, leading her to uncover a decades-old secret and potential for something truly epic: love. It sounds interesting. It's uber floppy, it's really pretty, I'm very intrigued. And obviously Nina LaCour is a very well-loved author, so intrigued to read some of her older work. Should be fun, no idea, we're excited. And then the one other book my mum got me that I didn't know about was Medusa, the Girl Behind the Myth. This is a kind of, it's not a graphic novel, it is, you know, text, but it has these big illustrations. Some of them interact with the text if I can find an example, which of course I now can't. So you have pages like this as well, where there's text and illustrations. I don't know much about it, but it looks really cool. The cover is stunning, as is Under the Dust Jacket, which is also super, super pretty. There we go, look at that. And my mum loves Greek myth. She's actually read like the Odyssey and the Iliad and the Aeneid and stuff like that, whereas I've not, because I just like a bit of Greek myth. There's another Greek myth book in a minute, and I just haven't got around to doing all the studying of it yet. I do plan to at some point, but time, energy, all those things. But this is by Jessie Burton, and my mum wanted to read this, and so she thought she'd get it for me as well, and we could kind of read it and discuss it. So this looks like fun. I'm intrigued, to say the least. And then on the topic of Greek myth, we are going to get into the books that were on my wish list. The first being Lore Olympus. This is the published, you know, hard copy of a webcomic. Lore Olympus is an extremely popular webcomic. I've been following it for a good few years now. I adore it wholeheartedly, and they're finally printing them, which is really exciting. Because although I don't mind reading it in webcomic, I much prefer reading things in paper. It's just preferable. And I did get the Illumicrate edition of this, but I really wanted to get the standard edition as well for two reasons. One being I'm scared to read the Illumicrate edition because it has really pretty sprayed edges, which obviously this doesn't. And two, in case for whatever reason Illumicrate don't do subsequent volumes, I want to make sure I have all matching editions. So, Lore Olympus, I'm excited. I will be rereading this. I will be making my mum read it so that she can love it too, because I think she will. And for anyone that doesn't know, this is basically a Hades Persephone retelling. It follows loads of the Greek gods and very much pulls on the stories and like how the gods interact, but is an original story in itself. It's great, it's gorgeous, read it. Online for free if you want to. My mum then got me 3 books off my wish list. Well, Lore Olympus was one, and then 3 others. The first 2 being My Brother's Husband, volume 1 and 2. These are manga, I think? Yes, and these come very highly recommended from everyone. They, very briefly, I think what happens is this guy is married to another man and has a kid, and then he dies, and I think his husband and his kid go and live with his brother, who was like in the culture, not particularly good with this guy being gay, and like kind of addressing that, I think. But everyone says these are amazing, and I've wanted to read them for ages, and my mum knows that, and so she got them for me, and I'm very, very excited. And then the other one she got off my wish list, which is not one I've heard many people talk about. I don't remember where I came across this. I think in a TikTok, and I added it to my wish list instantly, is The Music in the Mirror by Lola Keeley, apparently. Basically, this is Sapphic Black Swan. I love ballet. I did ballet for 18 years. I still love it. And I love reading about that kind of thing I've mentioned before. I love reading people like training in music or training in an art or honing a skill, and that's exactly this kind of thing. So this is following Anna, who is the newest member of an elite ballet company, and basically there's a massive rivalry with another woman, but then I think it gets romantic. I don't know. This was pitched to me as like a kind of dark romance. It's self-pub, it's stunning. We're excited. And then the final book I got is the one that I spotted in foils and picked up and didn't want to put back down, so it came home with me, and that is The Once and Future Witches. I own many editions of this book, but I didn't have the UK paperback, which has come out quite recently, and it's super, super floppy, and so if I ever want to reread this, this is the perfect reread edition. And I say, if I ever want to, I definitely will. So I now have this for next time I want to read this book, which is really, really exciting. I'm ready to annotate it because I first read it on ebook, and so I don't have an annotated physical copy, which hurts me a little bit. So this will be my reread edition for when I get around to it. This is a story of three sisters who are descended from witches, as are pretty much all women, but all the witches are gone in the past. But these three sisters are basically done with the world, and they're all coming across from different paths, but it is women rediscovering witchery and magic and reclaiming their power, and it's feminist, and it's all set around the suffrage movement in the US, and it's great. It's one of my favourite books of last year, if not my favourite book of last year. It's amazing. Everyone I've made read it loved it. Go read it. So those are all the books I got for Christmas, but just whilst we're on the topic of books, I did very quickly nip into Birmingham this morning, mainly to go to my flat to water my plants, and also to pick up The Mask Falling, because I didn't bring it with me because I had no anticipation of actually getting to The Mask Falling by the end of the year, but hopefully I will, so I brought that home. But as I was in town, I did nip into Waterstones because they have a sale that ends today whilst I'm filming this, so obviously won't still be ongoing, which is 50% off all hardbacks. And I don't buy that many new hardbacks because I tend to buy American ones, but there are a couple I've had my eye on, so I thought I'd go make use of the sale. The first, Kings of a Dead World by Jamie Mollart. I have an arc of this from like April. I haven't read it yet because I'm useless, but I really want to read this book, and every time I go into Waterstones I eye up the hardback because the cover is gorgeous. It's white under the dust jacket, which for some reason makes me insanely happy, and it also has really, really floppy pages, and it's just a really interesting sounding dystopian which I really want to read, and I just knew I'd kick myself if I read it in a year and the hardback was no longer available and I loved it and couldn't get it, so I thought I'd get it now. This has a bright green spine, which is fun. And this basically, from my slightly dodgy memory, follows a world where we've run out of resources, and as a result they've put everyone in cryogenic sleep, and you're woken up in small intervals for short periods of time to experience the world, and then you're put back into sleep. We are following a janitor in this who I think potentially his wife is in sleep and he's like waiting for her to wake up, but then something happens and it suddenly seems like in like a couple days the whole world is going to wake up and they don't have the resources. I think it sounds really cool. I think I'm going to love it. I got that one. Another one I got, which is wholly unnecessary, but I don't care, was the collector's edition of They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I love this book. A lot of people I feel like have read Adam Silvera recently and absolutely trashed him. I love his contemporary books. They are some of my favourites. I've not read them in a couple of years, but I adore them wholeheartedly. And I've been eyeing up this, pretty gold Waterstones edition for ages. But again, I have an American paperback and an American hardback. I didn't need a third copy, so I've not let myself. But for half price, I let myself today. This is another dystopian following a world, for anyone that doesn't know, you probably know, but if you don't, follows a world where you get a call the day you're going to die to tell you you're dying within the next 24 hours. And basically two guys get this call and end up finding each other on an app for people who it's on their last day. And they kind of have a one-day love story, falling in love and experiencing the world before they die. It's great. They do both die at the end. The title doesn't lie. I thought it would. But that's not a spoiler because it's literally the title. So, brilliant book. And then the final one. I've been eyeing up this book for literal years and I've never let myself get it because of the price. It is so expensive. But for 50% off, I thought I'd go for it. So this is S by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst. This, I don't know how to describe this book because I've not read it yet, but it is an experience more than a book. You will see it comes in cling wrap and it's like weird looking. So from what I know, this is a book, but in the margins of the book you have people's annotations, and there's like clues throughout it and like pieces of paper and things that fold out. And it's like a book, but it's a mystery, and you're also reading the annotations of someone else who read this book trying to solve the mystery, and you're putting the clues together. It's a whole ass experience, but it does cost £35 because of it. And I don't want to pay £35, so I paid 17 and got it half price, and I'm very chuffed with myself and have no idea when I'll read it, but nonetheless I'm excited for when I do, because I've literally known about this for about 10 years, I think. I don't even, has it been out long? Maybe it was less recent, maybe it was about 5 years. Known about it for ages, been too scared to buy it, finally got it. Okay, I've been talking for way too long. This is a whole video in itself and it's in the middle of a vlog. I'm gonna have to limit myself, but the few other bits I got really quickly. Number 1, 2 candles. I got a Jo Malone Black Oud and Rose candle, I think. Velvet Rose and Oud, my apologies. I love this candle. I got one when I was 17 and burnt it until I ran out of it. And I got really sad because Jo Malone candles cost a painful amount of money, and so for this Christmas I asked for a Jo Malone candle because they're really expensive, but it smells amazing, so one of those. I also got a woodwick candle, which is yang ylang basically. It's this giant thing, it's huge, but the reason I wanted it, I have burnt it a little bit already, is look at the size of that wick. I don't know how to get that in, there we go. Do you see how long that is? It's like 10 centimeters? Oh, I just knocked a bit off. Oopsie. 10 centimeters-ish. It's huge, it smells amazing. The crackle is unreal. I would recommend these candles if you want a proper crackly one. And then the final thing I got, which I did very much choose for myself, but I'm very excited by, is a set of mugs. So, set of mugs in itself doesn't sound that exciting. And I try not to buy lots of mugs. I love mugs. I always pick them up in shops and it's like, it's gorgeous. But I try not to buy them because I don't drink many hot drinks. But I have wanted to have like some nice mugs for people come around and want tea or coffee, or when I do fancy the odd hot chocolate. And I have like a really boring set of mugs and they're fine, they're nice, but they're not that special. I saw these in a kitchen shop and I got them. So I have, they've got prices on them, just remove that. I have dinosaur mugs. So we have a T-Rex, we have, oh the price is on it, I don't care, a Triceratops, we have a, oh my god, my brain's just stopped. That's not a Triceratops, that's a Stegosaurus, that's why I'm confused. Stegosaurus, Triceratops. And we looked this up because we got in a muddle. I think it's like a Raptosaurus or something. I don't know it. I think it looks like a Velociraptor kind of vibe, but it's not. But yes, I'm very, very excited about my adult dinosaur mug set. I think they're the cutest things to ever exist. And I'm exceedingly excited about having them. So that was another Christmas present, which I very much chose for myself, but I don't care. But that's it. I've been talking to you for 20 minutes and this is in the middle of a vlog. So I'm gonna go continue reading now, but lots of fun things. Reading plans for the rest of the year, God almighty. So reading plans for the rest of the year. Finishing the Song Rising, the Dawn Chorus, obviously. Hoping to read The Mask Falling, or at least make a good start in it. It may be my first book I finish in 2022, I'm thinking. And then I'm definitely gonna do All My Friends Are Rich. But that's probably it. Everything else is gone now because I just want to read The Bone Season. But that's it. I'm gonna stop talking now. I will chat to you later. Hi. So, it is Friday the 31st of December. It is 8:05 in the evening. I have read near enough nothing since I last updated you, which I think was about 2 days ago. I had great intentions and then the world went wrong. So, my plans last time I spoke to you, which I think was when I did an insanely large haul, was to read all of Song Rising, all of My Friends Are Rich, and hopefully all of Mask Falling and Dawn Chorus as well. None of that is gonna happen. None of it. Like, I am exhausted and will try and do a bit of reading, but I'm not gonna finish any of those. I am gonna go get Skyward the graphic novel because that is finishing a series and I do need to read it, and I can definitely finish that in the next 4 hours. But yeah, no, none of that happened. So to catch you up, the Wednesday, I basically Tuesday, well maybe a couple days earlier, it's been developing, had a really fun idea for something I'm gonna do on my channel next year. But it required making something. And I thought, you know, whilst I'm at home and I have all the supplies and my parents can like drive me to Hobbycraft to get things, I would just make it. I would just make it. And so I spent all of Wednesday driving around, getting bits and making the thing. It'll be announced soon. I don't know if it'll be before this video or not, because I cannot remember when this video is going up. But it'll be announced soon, and it's an exciting new thing, and I'm hyped about that. So I spent a couple days designing and making that. And then Thursday, I intended to read, but I have a reading journal, which I love, but I haven't updated it all year because, well, not all year, since like May, because I've been too busy to draw all my pages. So I decided to spend loads of time on Adobe Illustrator and digitally make the pages and print them all. So I did, and I now have my whole year's reading journal ready to go. And that's great, that's so exciting. It took me a big chunk of the day, and then I had to pack to come back to my flat, and then my mum liked the reading journal, so I then spent a few hours in the afternoon making her one. So she also has a whole reading journal for next year. And that's all great fun, and I'll probably show that in a video at some point because it was a really fun process making it. And I may even share like the PDFs of the pages I made in case other people want to use them. It was all a grand old time. Left no time for reading. So Wednesday and Thursday were days 4 and 5 of 25 and 5. Day 3, I didn't do well. Day 4 and 5, I literally did nothing. So scratch that. And I finished no books. So what have I read? Really not much. I can't even get my book out of my book sleeve. So I read 56 pages of this yesterday because me and my mum were going to buddy read it. So we thought we'd at least both start it. So far, I'm not really enjoying it, which is a real shame. This follows a main character who I cannot even remember his name. Do we know his name? Leo, apparently. It's in like first person, so you never hear their name. Leo, and he is really struggling. He's not got a lot of money, and he's got a whole, you know, realm of like mental health problems and other things which are all going on. And all of his friends are rich, and he's trying to like keep up with their lifestyles, and as a result, is really struggling with money, and basically goes down the route of kind of prostitution and sex work, which is really interesting. And I was really excited for it. It's queer as well. Thus far, it's not doing much for me. I know Leo's struggling with a lot of things, but currently he's just annoying me. It's, I think, first person, it's very much told in his voice, even if it's not, and his voice is not like bugging me at the moment. So I'm not loving it, but I'm gonna try and continue. And then Song Rising, I don't know where I was when I last updated you, but I'm now on page, there goes my book sleeve, page 145-ish, which is the beginning of part 2. Again, I won't finish this tonight because it's another 200 pages, and that's 4 hours of reading and a really good day, and I'm just not gonna be able to read constantly, especially as I get really cool fireworks and a really good view of them. I'll try and get a video at midnight. And I want to just enjoy that. So I'm not going to finish these books. I will try and read Skyward, meaning my total for the year will be 105, which is not half bad, but it's been a really good few days. And then today I spent the whole day moving back to my flat. I filmed Data Tech Returns, which will definitely go before this, which is exciting, doing my yearly goals. And we built a huge piece of furniture, a big chest of drawers, which I've been really needing. So this camera is literally about to die on me, but that's what I've done. Yeah, the camera actually died to the extent of cutting me off. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. That's my plans. I will end this vlog probably tomorrow, but that's it. That's how my reading's gone. See you soon.